Welcome back to the show. Today we are taking a look at how you can speak to your partner more clearly about what you want and what you need from them. Licensed professional counselor David Flowers is back with us this morning to break it all down. Welcome back, David.
Thank you, sir. Welcome. Good to be back.
Yeah.
Yep.
You say to speak more clearly. I'm assuming you don't mean enunciate.
Yeah. that's good. You're sharp.
Yeah, so you want to start with a story this morning to kind of help us better understand the communications tips you're going to share with us.
Yeah,
right?
well, I was taking a speaking class years and years ago, and I'd submitted this project and was all excited to hear back from my instructor about what they were going to say. And I just got this one comment back. He said, focus on clarity, David. He said, it was for ministry, for preaching, and he said,
sure,
if it's a mist in the pulpit, it's going to be a fog in the pew.
Okay.
Right? If it's a mist in the pulpit, it's going to be a fog in the pew. If you're not clear, if you don't know what you're saying, if you don't know what the listener needs to do, think, or feel, by the time you get to the end, that you've got to make that clear. It's up to you.
Yeah, so go into a conversation with clarity. Can you expand on that?
Yeah, well, in terms of clarity, I want to focus really on three things, right?
Okay.
First is to know your audience. If you think about somebody preparing a speech, and it's like, well, who are you speaking to, right? Is it business executives? Is it, soccer moms? What's your audience? So your partner is your audience when you're speaking to them. So what are your partner's quirks, right? Does your partner have a hard time paying attention? Do they have a hard time with details? And if so, you want to kind of keep the amount of details minimal and keep the story kind of cleaned up and brief. Does your partner like affection? And if so, maybe lay a little bit of a hand on their arm or something, or somehow reach out and make some kind of physical connection with them.
Interesting. So, I mean, you mentioned other audiences, and, I guess maybe sometimes people may make an assumption like, oh, this is my partner. I can, it's an interesting approach to have to think about clarity. Why is that important, though, when it comes to strengthening your relationship and communication?
Why is clarity important?
Yeah.
Well, because like I said, if it's a mist in the pulpit, it's going to be a fog in the pew, right? I mean, if you're not being clear, then you're going to get frustrated later on when your partner misunderstands something or there's some kind of loophole. One of the things here is about tightening up loopholes, right?
Okay.
There's some kind of loophole in what you're saying, right? So you tell your partner something that you want or that you need, but you don't say how, or you don't say where, or you don't say when, or you don't say why, right? We leave all of this room open for potential misunderstandings, and then we get frustrated when our partner ends up misunderstanding. So the reason it's important, the clarity piece, is that the speaker needs to take that responsibility to make sure that things are as clear up front as possible. Because when there ends up being a misunderstanding, do you think the speaker is going to say, hey, that was kind of on me? No, they're not, right? They're going to go, oh, well, you didn't listen, right? You didn't hear me.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's interesting overall that you should approach it that way in a relationship too. Like you said, you think about this in other settings, a workplace or what have you, but overall the goal here is just to better understand each other, right?
Yeah, communication's communication, right? Clarity in communication is important in the workplace, and so it's even more important in our relationships.
At home, yeah. Any other final tips you want to leave with us on this topic?
I would say summarize frequently, right? That's another good one. Like when you're talking to your partner, as you're speaking to them, you can say, you guys are having a conversation, you can go, okay, so I just want to be clear, like, we decided this, right? We just made this decision. I'm going to do this and you're going to do that, right? So really to take the initiative to make sure that at the end of a conversation, everybody kind of knows like what happened. Because one partner might be thinking, hey, we just made plans, and the other partner's going, oh, we're just talking and brainstorming.
Yeah, those were just
we didn't nail anything down, right?
Nothing. Okay, I get what you're saying. And bottom line, you don't have to prepare a speech necessarily. Maybe it would be helpful sometimes.
Yeah, it's helpful to clearly think it through, though, right?
Make a plan.
Yeah.
So what I hear you saying, David, is when you're speaking to your partner, you have to be clear about how you feel, what you're thinking, or what you need.
That is exactly it.
There you go.
Good summarization.
Yeah, there's some information on your screen to link it with David at davidflowerstherapy.com. Again, he offers premarital counseling, marriage, couples counseling. There's the number as well. Thank you, David.
Thank you, man.
I see you and I hear you.
Thanks so much. I feel seen.
Good,
Thank you.
Good. All right, over to you, Christina.
I'll tell you right now what we're seeing.